Hello everybody and welcome to another episode. I thought I would just do a short episode, a little bit about what I actually do as a job. I've shown a little couple of bits and pieces in previous videos. Here we have behind me is a E-Type Jaguar, as probably most people would recognize. And I mainly restore British cars. So this particular car came to us as a roadworthy car, actually looked in pretty good shape, and he wanted a full restoration, so that's what we did. So the car was completely stripped, it was water blasted, which is amazing, and although the car looked in really good condition before I started, it was actually quite surprising how much metal work this car needed. And pretty much with most models, there are the usual areas that rot and need attention, and that was no exception with this E-Type. I think I have in total restored, I don't know, 7 total restorations on E-Types, and then lots of smaller jobs like crash damages, like one of the cars that was in one of my previous videos briefly. So let me show you around this project and I'll tell you what has been replaced, etc. So this E-Type Jaguar, like I said, roadworthy, looked pretty good, but you never know what's underneath the paint. So on these type of projects, they basically, when ready to go to the paint shop, have to be better than when they were manufactured. So as you can see, like the door shut lines have to be perfect.
Oh, nice gap.
And again on the bonnet. And on these E-Type Jaguars, the bonnet, because it's like, well, it's probably more than a third of the car. That's quite a challenge to get all these shut lines perfect. And also, surprisingly, on these old Jaguars, there's a lot of, they used a lot of lead for filling joints and seams and stuff like that. So on E-Types, the areas that they lead filled was here, here, along the back here, and many places from the factory. So that's what I've obviously replicated.
So you can see how bad the rear panel was and the previous bad repair. And these are the seams that need to be lead loaded.
So it's the same as the original. So the areas that needed attention on this particular car is new floors.
So this is a brand new floor panel, drilled out, ready for plug welding. Floor removed, and then the new panel waiting to be welded in place.
So considering that this car had an MOT when it came to us and was roadworthy, these floors were actually pretty bad. And also this corner here, I had to completely rebuild and hand make, and the inner sill I had to remake these panels.
You can see just how bad the rust was with the floor panel removed. And this is with the outer sill removed. All the inner strengthening pieces were rotten and the whole corner needed to be replaced. This is with the new panels in place and it looks factory fresh.
And then also I had to remake the bottoms of these rear quarters, and the outer sills are brand new and the strengthening sections inside are all brand new. The rear quarters, or the rear lower quarters, are new as well. And the thing with these E-Types, which is quite a challenge, is there's lots of curves on the car and reverse curves. So that's more of a challenge to get these cars right. Also, this car had some front damage at some stage, and I'll put some photographs on this video, but as you can maybe make out, it has some crash damage here. And on a lot of American previous restorations that we have had, well, nearly every E-Type that we've had, I think because the bonnet is so long, a lot of people actually knock them into things and have some damage. But this was had a series of holes drilled, and then they use a slide hammer to pull it out to get the shape about right, and then they use a lot of body filler to finish it off. And obviously that's not what we do now. So I actually cut the whole front off.
So here you can see the lead that had been added to a previous damage, and this is the front after I first welded it back on.
There's my weld seam there, and I used the English wheel to get all the dents and everything out. And then there was also some rust issues on some of the places. So I just made the panels and welded them in, and then I welded the whole front back on. The lower valance, I think, as well had some dents and everything because these sit quite low and prone to damage. The front quarters, I think, were actually pretty good. But normally when you change seals on an E-Type, because I mean, you can pretty much buy every nut and bolt for an E-Type, every panel, every part for an E-Type, everything's available. But the thing is, like, these were handmade from factory. So no two E-Types are actually exactly the same. So when you buy like these reproduction panels, they never fit perfectly. You always have to adjust them to fit the particular car. So this was no exception. So when I changed the seals, they didn't line up with the original doors. These are original door skins. So I had to actually add a piece to the bottoms of the doors to get the gap perfect. These were replaced, so the curve that meets the door was not exactly perfect, so I had to reshape it. I'm not sure if I had to replace the bottom of this. I don't think I did. That may have been the previous E-Type that I did. So I'll open the bonnet. The procedure for opening a bonnet on an E-Type is you have these latches either side. So you basically turn them and pull them like that, and it releases the catch that's inside there. So opening the bonnet on this E-Type, you can see that it has a brand new frame. You can buy these frames brand new, and the one that was on here had some previous damage and previous repairs, and the particular metal that is used for these frames, you shouldn't weld it because it changes the property of and the strength of the metal. So these are actually brazed together with brass. You can actually see on one of the joints there, and what you can see on the front frame is actually the original. The front panel I had to pretty much make. I had to hand make these because the ones that are available to buy don't have these domes on them. They have like over the years there's different variations of panels and stuff like that, so I had to hand make these. And yeah, like I said, the panel gaps are the biggest challenges on this. So this also had, somebody had drilled a series of holes to have cutouts for rear speakers. So this rear panel was an absolute mess. So I basically had to make up a like a die to stamp these indentations in and then weld it back into position. Like I said, new floors. So lots of work. I haven't actually added up the total amount of hours that this project in particular has taken, but it's hundreds of hours and lots of patience. And there's another 2 E-types. This yellow one is another one that I have previously repaired or restored, and this was in a lot worse shape than this one. I actually had to cut the whole car in half and restore the front, well, everything pretty much. Basically, it was a real mess. So yes, this is now booked in and waiting to go to the paint shop. So I thought I would just share this because I'm actually really proud of this one because it turned out really well. So I can't wait to see this from the paint shop, and I will show it again when it returns in a up and coming video, but that will be sometime in the new year. Okay, that's just a little insight clip. I hope you enjoy it, and I can do some videos in the future with metal work, fabrication, stuff like that. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. Okay, please subscribe, please hit the like button, and you won't miss out on future episodes then, will you?